It's been a long season and we are back for the final game of the 2021-22 campaign. Portman Road is the venue as Jacko and his side look to finish the season as strongly as they are right now. 6 wins from 9 it's been over the last few games, and they'll be looking to secure a top half finish with victory this afternoon. Ipswich Town the hosts, and they will be looking to end a winless streak that was extended to 5 matches with a 1-1 draw at relegated Crewe last weekend. It may be the last game of the season, but it's an action-packed show. As always, we'll speak exclusively to Johnny Jackson. We'll have an interesting chat with Jayden Stockley. We'll hear from Charlton owner Thomas Sandgaard and from Ajax midfielder Mia Ross ahead of tomorrow's huge game at the Valley against Durham Ladies. We'll look back at last Saturday's home win against Shrewsbury, and we'll have all the latest news ahead of today's season finale. Whew, a lot going on. Now, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is that Curbs isn't here. The good news, we don't have any. Only joke, and we have the one and only Stevie Brown. Brownie, how are you? Yeah, Curbs is off. You'd never take the last game off, would you?
No, it's only for a wedding as well. It's not like he's even gone away.
We had a really good golfing trip as well, didn't we? There was me, you, Curbs, Rob Lee and the Community Trust.
It was
really
very,
good bunch
very
of
good.
lads.
Yeah, very enjoyable, yeah. And might as well get that way. You won it, so well done.
I didn't want to say anything, but I'm glad you did as well. And I'm really happy you had a shave as well.
Yeah, I was looking really homeless, wasn't I? Yeah. I tried to smarten myself up. I'm not sure how well that went, but...
Moving swiftly on, we have a player who played for both Charlton and Ipswich. No, not Matt Hollands, not Darren Bent, not Herman Hreiderson. This man.
Yule complaining about the challenge by Hreiderson. Oh, and Charlton have taken the lead.
No, I don't think so.
Kevin
No,
Lisbie. 85 minutes gone. They've been under pressure for much of the game, but suddenly Charlton Athletic have gone in front. And it's a first Premiership goal for Kevin Lisbie. And what a goal it was. Goal kicked by Kiley, and Lisbie onto it into a flash. Magnificent finish by Lisbie.
Yes, welcome back, Liz, in the studio. Liz, I mean, it's so good we had to put about 3 or 4 replays in there. Special memories of that particular goal?
Yeah. As you say, it was my first Premiership goal. After many attempts, finally got my goal, and to get it like that at Ipswich, yeah, was a really special day for me.
Yeah.
Another assist from Dino as well, Dean Kiley.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's 2 assists from him.
Yeah. And you're still playing, of course, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying.
What was it you said just off air, just a few minutes ago? I said you're still playing and notching.
Yeah.
What was your answer?
My answer was, if I stop notching, I'll stop playing.
That's a typical striker, Brown, isn't it?
I want to know what that Liz that we've just seen there would have thought of this Liz coming up the stairs just a minute ago.
Listen, you're still playing, but you were breathing heavy as you came up this stairs. I've got to ask you as well, you played for both sides. Naughty question, who do you want to win?
I've got to say Charlton. I mean, this is where I was brought up, this is where I learned my trade, and this is where I spent most of my career. But yeah, as I say, I was at Ipswich for a couple of years, and I really enjoyed it down there. But as I said before, Charlton holds a really special place in my heart.
It's 2 big clubs, really, isn't it? It's a shame that we're not seeing these 2 for automatic promotion or even in the playoffs.
Yeah, there's some massive history with both of these clubs. Charlton and Ipswich at one point were in the Premiership together, and now they're in League One, and neither one of them are challenging for that top spot. So let's hope both of them next year they're up there and they're challenging to get back into the Championship, where I feel probably both of them belong. Absolutely,
Brownie. It's not been a great season, hasn't it? But Jacko will be wanting to finish on a high and make it 7 wins from 10.
Yeah, I think that's... I mean, did state that some time ago. I just want to finish the season strongly. You can argue he's done that. I think today's a bit of a tougher test than the last couple of games. We've had 2, good wins, scored 2 in both, and 2 clean sheets. It's a slightly tougher test, although they've made a few changes. I think since the point they got to where they couldn't make playoffs, I think they've actually, sort of put some youngsters in and tested and tried different, formations and setups. So it is Someone put this week, it's the deadest of dead rubbers. It's kind of got that feel about it a little bit.
Yeah, you know how to big up a game, don't you? please don't switch off. Look, it is an early kick-off today, of course, 12:30, with it being the last game of the season. Lots to get through. Let's start with the gaffer. And I spoke to him a little bit earlier and asked him just how pleased he is with the finish of the season with 6 wins from 9.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. We're in good form. What's really pleased me is the fact that obviously we haven't got anything to play for as far as promotion, relegation, but I think the team's giving everything. The players that I select on the pitch are having a right go, and they're really keen to finish the season strong, and we're doing that. 6 out of 9 is obviously a good return. We want to make that 7 out of 10 today and really finish it off well.
Yes, and it makes such a difference as well, Jacko, doesn't it, when you've got your key players fit, especially the strikers?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said it all along that we missed those guys. Obviously, we spoke about it a lot during the period where we had a lot of players missing, especially at top end of the pitch. It makes life very difficult trying to pick up results and points. But obviously, you know, we've got those players back that make that big difference, and you've seen the impact that it's had not only on the team and performances, but on the results as well.
Yeah, so how are we lining up then? What changes have you made from last week's win?
Yeah, Corey comes back into the team. Obviously, he was due to start last week, but fell ill during the warm-up, so he had to miss out. But he comes back into the team, and young Nathan Harness gets a debut in goal as well. Ryan Innes comes back into the team. Obviously, Sean Clare has gone away to have his surgery, so Innes comes back into the team as well.
No problem at all, Jacko. It's a big day for Nathan then, isn't it?
Yeah, really pleased for Nath. Craig's been under the weather this week. He hasn't been in. He hasn't trained. So we're really pleased with the improvements Nathan's made this season. I think he's made big strides. He's trained really well. He's been an able deputy to Craig, and it's a great opportunity for him. He deserves it. It can be a difficult that sort of backup goalkeeper, especially when your game time is limited, and it's an important role. They travel all over the country, and sometimes they don't get their reward. So for him to get a league debut today, last game of the season, we're really happy for him.
Yeah, and Ipswich are similar to us, a big club, high expectations at the start of the season, but a disappointing campaign. They're winless in 5, but they have a very good squad, don't they? What are you expecting from them today?
Yeah, I think they're a good side, Scott. I think Kieran's done well since he's gone in there, changed their style. He's got a Matty, he got a tune out of them. But like you say, they're a huge club at this level, and they would have been expecting more as well, and they'll be looking towards, very similar to us, towards next season to be up the other end. But I expect them to be sort of quite carefree today. I think they'll try and enjoy it, and obviously their last home game in front of their own supporters, great conditions, pitch looks really good, so I expect them to try and play and to try and match us, and he's got them sort of pressing and a bit of intent about how they go about their stuff. So I think it's going to be a really good game, a great game for us to finish. Great stadium. Always enjoyed coming here as a player. So if you can't enjoy this today, then you never will.
Absolutely, it will be a big crowd with 2 big clubs, and we've sold out our away end. I bet you'd be hoping that we can make it 7 wins from 10 to make the fans go home happy.
Oh yeah, we're really keen to do that. The support that we've had all season through adversity at times not always been brilliant, has it? And they've stuck by us. They've travelled so many miles in this league. You've got some long journeys, and we've always travelled in numbers, none more so than today when we're going to fill out that way. And I think that's an incredible feat, considering sort of the stage of the season and the fact that there's nothing riding on the game. That we're bringing here so many supporters here just shows what this club's about. And obviously we're keen to really give them something to get behind today, and hopefully, like we did last week at home, send them away over the summer with a victory to shout about.
Jacko, thank you very much indeed. Good luck. Let's have a look at the lineup then, shall we? 3 changes, as he said. Ryan Innes is back in, Corey Blackett-Taylor as well, but it is a big day for Nathan, isn't it, Brownie?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's great to see as well, personally.
Absolutely.
You know, don't want anything to happen to any player, but this one is an illness, and that's probably the best way for a player to come in. I hope McGilvray's all right, but yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Nathan play, and he's sat there for a long time waiting for an opportunity, you know, and it's good to see that he's getting a chance today.
Corey back in. I mean, he's been superb, hasn't he, over the last few weeks when he's been fit. And Ryan as well, with Sean. We wish, of course, I speak on behalf of everybody at Charlton TV, we wish him all the very best, and I think he's had a very good season. We'll come on to him a little bit later, but Ryan back in as well. Yeah,
force change that one, you know, as you say, for Sean Clear, who's had the operation. And obviously Corey Blackett-Taylor, who was ill literally minutes before the game started last week. So no surprise to see him back in. He has been our biggest threat by some distance in the last 5 or 6 games. So no surprise to see him straight back into the starting 11.
Liz, I was going to ask you if you miss it, but you still do it.
Yeah, well, looking at that, that's completely different to what I played at the moment. Pitches, crowds, people watching. But yeah, I know these lads, and even though it's the last game of the season, you want to win every game. I know Jacko said there's nothing on it, but that's not the message you'll be sending to the players before the game. There's always something on it.
How important is it to try and win the last game of the season when there's nothing on it?
As a player, I think Brandon would tell you we hate losing 5-a-sides. I would lose a 5-a-side and I wouldn't talk to them for about half an hour. So it's important. I think it sticks with you for a few days after. You want that good feeling after the season ends, whether or not you meet up with everyone after and you have something to eat. You want to know that you've won your last game and you put a good shift in. But as Jacko just said, the boys have put a real good shift in for him the last few games. So they'll be looking to finish this off with a good performance.
They certainly have. It looks glorious there as well. At Ipswich. Let's have a look at the table, though, shall we? And for the first time in a while, we start with the top half. That's because we are in 12th. A win today would guarantee the top half finish. If we don't win, it leaves the door open for Accrington and Cambridge to move ahead of us. Ipswich are 11th and will only move up to 10th if they win and Bolton lose. But then it gets exciting. One of Sheffield Wednesday, Sunderland, Plymouth and Wycombe won't make the playoffs. And at the top, Wigan are promoted if they avoid defeats, champions if they win. A point will be enough if Rotherham fail to win. Rotherham are promoted if they win. A point will be enough if MK Dons fail to win. Champions if they win and Wigan fail to win. I feel like Jeff Stelling here. But MK could spoil the party. They will be promoted if they win and Rotherham don't. A point will only be enough if Rotherham lose by 6 goals. So 2 things, guys. 1, how tight is it for automatic promotion in the playoffs? And 2, don't ask me to repeat those permutations.
Absolutely, you did very, very well. Yeah, I think Rotherham have kind of opened the door a little bit. They were home and hose, weren't they?
I feel sorry for them after what happened.
Yeah, you know, they've kind of left the door slightly ajar. I hope they do it. I think
So do I.
We called Wigan and Rotherham months and months and months ago when Rotherham were down in sort of 5th position. We knew they were going to be, you know, up there or thereabouts. And if you finished above those 2, we said you'll probably get promoted, and that is going to be the case for sure. MK Dons is the surprise.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to fall away. They haven't. They've stayed strong. They've stuck to the brand of football,
yes,
you know, from day one, and it's paid dividends. And they're knocking on the door, but. I think Wigan and Rotherham deserve it this year. So
okay, both of you, give me the top 2, and who's going to miss out on the playoffs?
I'm going to go Wigan and MK Dons because I just feel
when you're away at Plymouth, I think.
Yeah.
I just feel you could put a pound on that and get a good return, mate.
when you're in that second spot and you know someone's behind you,
it's nervy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when you're third and you've got nothing to lose and you've almost got your mind set on playoffs as it is, and you just go and try and get that win and see what happens. But I do think Rotherham are going to be a little bit shaky, I think.
And who's missing out in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, I think it's as it is. I think it's going to be as it is. I can't see Wycombe sneaking in there. I think that's going to be the playoffs. Maybe, as I said before, Rotherham change for MK Dons.
It's incredible to think that Sheffield Wednesday, sitting 4th, could miss out. Brown, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, I have to say, Sheffield Wednesday didn't have a great start. Likes of us and Ipswich, we've all had poor starts. They've recovered the best. You know, they've had injury issues themselves, so I think Darren Moore's done an incredibly good job with Sheffield Wednesday. I expect them to stay in it. They must be gutted there's not sort of 50 games this year, because I think they probably, the form they're in, absolutely. But they've done incredibly well to get up to fourth.
Give me a name, come on.
Wigan and Rotherham will go up, and I'm going for, how's this, Sunderland missing out.
Ooh. OK, now on to the bottom half. I like being different. It's good. I like that. OK, Doncaster and AFC Wimbledon can still technically stay up, but it would take them scoring a lot of goals and relying on heavy defeats elsewhere. So, really, Liz, it looks between Fleetwood and Gillingham, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as an ex-Gill player, I'm hoping that they can sneak out of it, but I can't see it at the moment. I think Fleetwood will stay up. I'm hoping Gillingham gets enough points to get out of that bottom four and stay up, because that's also a club that's close to my heart as well. Have
you ever been involved in a last day relegation? Because that's different, isn't it, in terms of the feeling rather than a promotion chase? Yeah, when I first went to Leyton Orient, it went right down to the last day, and it's the worst feeling in the world. And I'm sure these Gillingham players now, they just want to get this game over and done with, whether or not they get relegated or not. Absolutely.
That feeling must be killing them at the moment.
Yeah, lots of teams with plenty still to play. Let's have a look at the fixtures then, shall we? From our perspective, Accrington in 13th travel to AFC Wimbledon, who must win to even have a chance of staying up, while Cambridge host Cheltenham. In the relegation dogfight, Fleetwood travel to Bolton, while Gillingham host Rotherham. Rotherham, remember, we just seen Gillingham need a win to guarantee promotion. Elsewhere at the top, MK Dons travel to Plymouth, and Wigan will be hoping to lift the League One trophy at Shrewsbury. I don't know if it's exciting. It's definitely a very nervy day ahead, Brownie, isn't it? And we know that not only Liz will be looking at the Gills Brothers game, but also Rob Lee as well.
Absolutely. I think Rob would probably be down there. We could have done with that graphic before you asked us all the questions, I think, but never mind. I've changed my mind I think Gillingham and Fleetwood will both lose. And I think Fleetwood will stay up because of that, and Gillingham will unfortunately go down. But Neil Harris has, just want to say again, he's done an incredible job since he's turned up. If you Paul Scully, you made the decision too late. That relationship was over a long time ago. He should have made the decision to let Steve Evans go a long time before he did, and that would have given Neil the opportunity to keep them up, which is a shame. But I think they're both losing. I think Fleetwood will stay up.
OK, it's Charlton TV, not Gillingham TV.
Sorry. I'd just like to give people a pat on the back when they deserve it.
Absolutely, fair play. OK, let's get to club news updates now, shall we? And we'll start up with one of Charlton's best players this season, Sean Clare. He posted on his social media this week that due to health precautions, his season has finished a little early. He said, "I've been advised by medical specialists to have my facial birthmark removed as it poses a risk of becoming melanemic. That's, of course, skin cancer. Having the op at this time allows me to avoid a potentially serious health risk and also have enough time to recover and be ready to go well in time for pre-season." Brownie, he has had a good season in what has been a position that's been a bit alien to him.
Yeah, I think that's why it stands out. Because we've asked him to drop into a position to do us a favour, and he's done so well that we've not been able to change him. And that's credit to him. You know, he's versatile. He's even sort of slotted in at right back at times when he's needed to. Very versatile player. Actually, if truth be told, I think he would have struggled to get in central midfield. You know, there's a lot of competition in there. You know, we're oversubscribed in there in many ways, and I think it's pushing him back to that position and then watching him find form has been great for him and great for us.
Absolutely. OK, some good news now. And we broke last week, of course, the news of a 3-year deal with the University of Greenwich. The university's name sits proudly on the front of the away shirts of the club's men's first team and on the back of the men's first team's home and third shirts. For the 2022-23 season, the university's name will also sit on the front of the home and third shirt worn by Karen Hills' Addicts and on the back of the team's away shirt as well. So well done to Wayne Mumford and gang. Another big well done to Ryan Ennis, who has been named the PFA Player in the Community at Sunday evening's 2022 EFL Awards ceremony in London. The Addicts defender was praised for making a difference both in his virtual and in-person community appearances. Ennis was devastated to miss the ceremony due to illness. The award was accepted on his behalf by Community Trust CEO Jason Morgan and Head of Player Care Tracy Leeburn, pictured at Sunday's event with owner and CEO Thomas Sandgaard.
Really good to see Jace has got the right size gear on.
What do you mean?
Well, all week he's worn small. It's been screaming at him. I don't know why he keeps buying small stuff when he's a medium.
You're saying he's carrying a bit?
I'm saying that suit fits lovely, but what he's been wearing this week's been a disgrace.
Jason Morgan, MBE, will not be happy with you at all. More good news. Academy graduate Deji Elaweri was crowned the LFE League One Apprentice of the Year at Sunday's evening's EFL Awards ceremony. Academy manager Steve Avery hailed Elaweri as a role model to his peers after the 18-year-old collected his award. The award recognises the outstanding young professionals at EFL clubs who excel both on and off the pitch. It's been a busy week of fan meetings. The Fill the Valley group met with Charlton staff at the Valley on Tuesday as they continue to work on initiatives to help the growth of the club. Men's first-team players Sam Lavelle and Adam Matthews joined a Zoom meeting with the club's LGBTQI+ supporters group, the Proud Valiants, on Monday. The club's International Fans Forum met on Thursday. On the agenda was potential improvements to the successful International Supporters Match Day and ideas for Charlton TV. Perhaps no more Steve Brown. I don't know. Not in the vision anyway.
It's a given.
The club's Her Game 2 working group met on Wednesday as they continue to look at ways to promote equality and tackle discrimination. More congratulations for the under-18s who last Saturday picked up the Professional Development League 2 South title after what has been a fantastic season. And they'll now go on to play the winners of the Northern category, and we wish them all the very best. Now, Brownie, did you know that you went viral on TikTok this week? More than 350,000 views. Have a listen to this.
Were awarded a free kick for this.
Halfway inside his own. He just threw himself to the floor there. I'd book him for that. What on earth was that? He's given him a free kick. He's given a foul for that, and he literally turned, stuck his backside out, and threw himself to the floor.
And then there was one of the guys in the in-betweeners, actually, so we didn't get that in that particular bit, but it was very, very funny. And I know you're on TikTok, so you can have a look at it.
I don't even know what TikTok is, really, if I'm honest, but go on, crack on.
I have to say, that was one of the worst refereeing decisions I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, things go on now in the game, and you do have to giggle about it. But referees have brought that sort of action on themselves because they give free kicks for things that just aren't free kicks. So people are willing to try stuff like that to try and get a free kick in a dangerous area. But that's...
You're not on TikTok, but I bet Liz is. I bet he's all over it with the dance moves. And
no, my boys are, but I'm not allowed to be on there, apparently, so...
You're too old now, you're not cool enough.
Yeah,
right.
I know what TikTok is, though, but...
Moving swiftly on, I think. OK, more club news, and earlier this week, the players got to say goodbye to the long-serving club secretary, Chris Parks, who has retired after 34 years at the club.
Right, thanks for coming, everyone. As we all know, Mr. Parks here, Mr. Charlton himself, is retiring, leaving the football club after...
Unbelievable, really, for the club I've loved for so many years. It's, as I said earlier on, I don't know what words to describe it, really, but honoured, privileged, very lucky. I can't say any more than that, really, but it does mean such a lot to me, because it's been my life for so long, and I mean, half of my life has been spent working for Charlton, and you can add an extra 30 years on top of that for the years I've been a supporter, so it does mean a hell of a lot. I've got to thank Roger Orwin and Mike Norris. Mike Norris has passed, unfortunately, but they're the ones who got me to this football club, so I really do. I'm very grateful to them. The owners since, the Richard Murrays and Martin Simons, current owner, of course. People I've worked with, the managers I've worked with, there are so many. And if I've missed anybody, I do apologise, but it's I've met so many. The fact I can come back and go to games and just enjoy it and talk to supporters and tell them my stories of all those lovely people I've met in football, and a lot of them, they like listening to me, which is fortunate, and I'll enjoy that, and it's brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, you missed us three out, Chris. You didn't mention that. I mean, look, 34 years. I left the club 30 years ago, and I remember him, and he was someone who clearly was just fantastic at his job, and he's got even better and better. And you can see him getting a bit emotional there as well, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He's been here a long, long time, seen a lot of players come and go, and it's big shoes to fill. Yeah, so you know, he's had about 8 send-offs though.
He's a bad man, isn't he? He really is. Any memories, do you feel?
No, as Brownie said before, he was just always there. Clubs like this are built, foundations are built with people like that, people that the fans don't get to see all the time, but the players really do appreciate. So, yeah, sad to see him go, and hopefully I'll see him soon to say bye in person.
Absolutely, and he will be a club ambassador as well, so I'm sure he'll be here. Definitely home, maybe even away games like he always has been over the last few decades. OK, right, we have a big game today, but we have a massive game here tomorrow as Karen Hills' Addicts host Durham Women at the Valley. The first time a female Charlton team has been represented by a professional outfit here at the Valley. The team trained here on Friday, and midfield maestro Mia Ross spoke to CharltonTV about Sunday's big game.
Training was really good today, standard was good. You know, training in the stadium really gets us going for the weekend, so hopefully we can go and show people what we're capable of. I'm still quite young, I've still got a lot of learning to do, still got a lot to improve on. Goals are always a bonus. I just try and focus on my performances, and hopefully the goals and assists take care of itself. So yeah, it's always nice to get a goal. Got to finish the season on a high. Durham, we know they're a very physical side, especially the last time we played them at home. But you know, we're playing in the stadium, so we have to show the fans why we're here, and we have to make ourselves proud as well. Obviously, there's been results that haven't gone our way, so we have to make sure that we just finish the season on a huge high.
Absolutely, and you can be there tomorrow to witness a special part of Charlton's history, as the Addicts will be represented by a professional female team at the Valley for the first time ever. Tickets cost just £10 for adults, £5 for concessions. Visit booking.cafc.co to get your ticket now. Brownie, it's a massive game here at the Valley, and it's a massive moment for them, isn't it?
Yeah, and as I pulled up, the ground staff were doing a wonderful job. The pitch looks absolutely fantastic. So, you know, something to really look forward to. And with a win, actually push up a couple of places. I mean, just look at the stats, 17 goals against. That's pretty impressive across the season. But obviously, results in terms of haven't won enough games, you know, to push themselves where they want to be. But yeah, it's been a good season. Building blocks are in place. Absolutely. And they'll really enjoy tomorrow.
17 goals conceded. You'd be delighted to be part of that defence. I know that.
Absolutely.
OK, now last week we had Charlton hero Yann Kermorgant sitting in that very chair. He came all the way from France, and CharltonTV followed him on a busy Saturday. Let's take a look.
Charlton means to me a lot, of course. That's why today I'm so proud to be back. So pleased you've invited me to come back at the Valley to meet lots of people I've missed for a long time. Just a club I will keep in my heart forever. And of course it was a big disappointment for me to leave.
Hello. Hello. How are you? You alright? I see you.
Johnny Jackson was a really good captain. And I'm so happy for him. Now he's the manager at Charlton, which is, I think, great for the club.
It's a great feeling. It's been a long time I didn't see you, and I'm so pleased to be here.
I will keep, of course, Charlton in my heart forever, and I will always be happy to come back.
Yeah, Brownie, great to see Yann back, isn't it? And very much loved here.
Very much. And what he did actually to stay on overnight to play in a Legends game Saturday gave him actually a decent centre forward to hold up the ball when someone.
You're such a
Tell us about it.
As Brownie said, he stayed another night, changed his flight. What a legend to play in that game, to raise money for food, people that haven't got food. So it's the first time I've met him, and he's such a good man, a proper Charlton player. I made him play the whole game because he stayed the flight, but he was knackered the whole game.
How did it go? Who lasted? Who played well? There's some names there.
The skipper, Johnny Jackson, didn't last too long.
Did he not?
I think maybe he was thinking about it today. He looked a bit off. But yeah, as you said, we've got some real Charlton legends there. Yuli got a hat-trick. Chris Dixon got a hat-trick. Jamal Campbell-Rice. These people are... Chris Perry played in the Premiership for this club.
Jamal. Great lad.
He was the best player by far, Jamal.
Was he?
Yeah, him and myself were the best.
Self-proclaimed. While the knee may restrict you, what about you in goal?
He was asked.
Was he? What did he say?
No, I wasn't asked. I was working at Tottenham. Yeah, I could probably just about go in goal. It would be going down in stages, though. It would be embarrassing, but if I had to.
It was embarrassing at Villa Park.
Keep on up, by the way, so everyone's heard it on telly.
Anyway, let's move swiftly on, but well done, Yann, for staying on. Great stuff. OK, we move on to Charlton TV, and what is a Charlton TV exclusive? And we spoke to owner and CEO Thomas Sandgaard earlier this week. Take a look.
Yeah, that's right. As you said, it's been a challenging season, so it's with mixed emotions. Mostly positive, because we got ourselves out of the hole we were in at the beginning of the season. We got a new manager. We got the new manager bounce, and obviously I'm talking about the men's first team here, and won quite a few games that got us a little bit up the table and gave us hopes of maybe getting close to, if not into the top 6. We then had a spell of winning, losing, didn't have the right luck, and had, unfortunately, the wrong players injured at the same time. All the strikers were out at the same time. That really hurt us for a while there. We're finishing the season pretty strong. We've had some good wins here lately, and it looks like we're ending right at the middle of the table. That's obviously not where we want to be. But when we look at everything that's going on behind the scenes and how we are building the club with better facilities for the players here for next season, we're slowly getting better at recruiting. The average age of the squad has improved, and I expect by next season we'll have a good balance in the squad. We didn't get the benefit of the depth of the squad that we created beginning last season, so we might sacrifice a little bit on that for quality of players throughout the next transfer window. We're looking at our women's team now being full-time professional. That's the first, and they actually done great. There's only one team that gets promoted to the Women's Super League. Unfortunately, we didn't win that spot, but we did significantly better than we have done for many years. And on the academy side, obviously we're working on getting that the license for Category 1 status. We've done everything we believe is needed, and is obviously working with the FA on getting that status. Other than that, obviously the academy has done amazing again this season. The under 18s winning the league by a huge margin. The under 23s doing really well, and pretty much all the teams in our academy. Some people can say that we are overperforming. We're basically punching above our weight, and but we have great coaching staff in the academy that can keep producing players, and of course we must also be. That's my conclusion. We must be good at recruiting, because we have some amazing talent when you're watching those guys play. On the business side of the club. We have made a lot of changes throughout the year, slowly improving. We had some we had a lot of efforts in trying to fill the valley. We didn't really get there, but we learned a lot, and I hope that we'll get the fans back in full strength to a full valley here next season. The fans are obviously what really is the lifeblood of this club, and we need everybody back for the next season. Not only from a financial perspective, because we'll be financially healthier, but also to back up the team when we play our home games. It does make a difference. The times we've seen the stadium, the valley nearly full, it has really made a difference, and it's a wonderful feeling. It gives you goosebumps when you get in there and hear the roar. My goal is to secure a squad with younger players that are on long-term contracts, and also have the qualities that we can build on for the playing style, etc., and have the drive and literally play for the shirt. And you don't get that if you're just here on a loan or permanent for half or a full season. You do that if you're here for a number of years, and if you do well, you obviously extend your contract, etc. So that's what I'm trying to build. As most people know, even before I took over the club, the fans were massively on board in order to get an ownership that creates stability and have the club start moving forward again. It's been downhill for way too long. So I would say the fans of this club has been the biggest, most positive experience. Not just the football side. I enjoy being over here and being out on the training grounds nearly every day when I'm in London. But the fans and the response that I've got in person when we meet, or it's on social media, etc. There's a huge backing, and of course there's a few outliers, but it's all part of the game.
And obviously it has been, as we said, a tough season. It's been a difficult decade, 12 years really for the fans and for this football club. But we are moving forward. I mean, if there was a message you wanted to give those fans ahead of next season, which is going to be a big one for this football club,
well, hopefully everybody can be as patient as I am. Fundamentally, I'm not that patient, but it's one of the things when it's not something you are entirely yourself in full control over. Not only do we have 11 players on the pitch and a lot of people around that needs to click, the opposing teams also have a say in it. So it's a matter of getting it right and keep improving all the time. And I'm sure we will eventually start getting so much momentum on the football side that we'll get the promotion that we need and obviously take it from there. My goal is still the same, in a decade or less to be playing European football, and that is, I realize that it's very aggressive, but that's the ambition. This club is a big club. Charlton is a big club, and we're one of the few clubs at this level here that have the ability to actually make it to the best league. So I'm still very optimistic, and will do everything it takes to get there.
Yeah, that is the aim, and there he is today at Portman Road. Beautiful sunshine. It looks like he's enjoying himself there. Fingers crossed he will be after the game as well, which means that we've gone there and got all 3 points. I mean, he's certainly a lot more present than previous Charlton openers, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, and when he comes over, he's fully invested as well.
Absolutely.
Thomas, he's everywhere, and he'll go down the training ground, he'll watch the ladies, he'll obviously watch the first team. But yeah, very invested in the football club. I think optimism is the word I'll take from that. Be optimistic about the summer, be optimistic about next season, because we've fallen short this year.
I heard him say patient. I know he's not patient, but he's asking for patience from the fans as well. I mean, you know, like supporters who want a better season next season, Liz, won't he?
Yeah, and that word patience, I think the Charlton supporters have been patient, I think, for a number of years now, so I think maybe progression is the word they're looking for now. Little steps, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. consistency, getting some players here who want to play for the club and have that ambition to get into the next division. I think that's probably what we're looking for at the moment.
Absolutely. OK, well, a key member of the team this season is Jayden Stockley, and he caught up with CharltonTV earlier this week.
It's been a disappointing season as far as sort of league table suggests. Every time, you know, there's been a sense of optimism around the club. Every time we've gone on a good run, we just unfortunately haven't been able to back it up. Results on the pitch, some of it, you know, out of our control with the injuries that we had at key times. So it was disappointing, but you know, optimism coming into the end to seeing how this group's galvanised. And you know, put a string of performances together to back up the ones that we had, you know, around that Christmas December spell. So it's you know, been a very emotional season in terms of highs, disappointment. There's been anger. There's been, you know, we've gone through everything as a group together, and I'm hoping that everyone's learned, you know, valuable lessons this season that they won't forget. I think 20 goals great. Like the way I've got there, would have liked them to have all been league goals, obviously, but you know, you can't complain. You brought it for a reason to score goals. Overall record's looking good now, and it needs to improve if we want promotion. But it's disappointing because I think those numbers would have been, you know, 25 upwards, which would have been, you know, brilliant. If I didn't play through, you know, pretty bad injury and was out for a really long period of time. So that's disappointing on that, you know, it probably would have looked like I would have got to them numbers, but optimistic next year, you know, knowing that when I'm on the pitch tends to score. So it's next season about putting them numbers, backing them up and being a successful team, hopefully, because, you know, goals mean so much more when you're at the top end of the table. We've got to go and beat Ipswich to continue the good form we're in, because, you know, momentum's such a big thing. We want to finish the season off on a high. We want to, you know, say bye to the lads and have trust that everyone's going to do the right thing pre-season, because there should be one aim for the club, and that's, you know, that is promotion. There's got to be a mentality. It's got to be demanded from people that is what's expected of them. The players that sign here, they've got to be told that is what's expected of you. You're gonna play in front of a big crowd that want to demand good football and also success on the pitch. So they need to be informed of that before they come in. They're not coming to have a season like we had this season. And you know, I think it's a testament to the gaffer and that attitude he's created around this club.
Well, he talks well, doesn't he? I mean, he sounds like a manager. I think he will be in the future, but how important is he to Charlton?
It's very important. You know, I agree with him in some respects that, you know, of the 20 goals, that's fantastic for him personally as a statistic, but 13 league goals, you want more than that from your main striker, and I think he would have got it had he stayed fit, as he said in there. I think the important thing, you know, he's talking about promotion for next season. The important thing is, and the one thing you hope the lessons have been learned from last summer, is that everybody comes through that door on the first day of pre-season. It's not scattered throughout pre-season in terms of the players coming in. And I think if we do that, you give the manager an opportunity to then work with those players from day one as you walk through the door. And I think that's quite important.
Totally agree with you there, Brownie. But Liz, I just want to pick him up on one point. Interested in your thought. It doesn't matter, like league goals, more important than normal goals. Now, obviously, all goals are striking. No, but you're right in terms of the league goals. But 20 in 37 games, better than 1 in 2. That's a decent return, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think he'll be looking at it as how did I help the team throughout the season? What did I contribute in league goals? You could hear in his voice, you could see that he was disappointed in himself. He can't do nothing about the injuries and playing through injuries. But I think the only thing that matters to this club at the moment is how many goals you get in the league and where you finish in the table. But by the sounds of it, he looks like he's ready for next season already. He looks like he's got his head around that, and he's got a clear idea of what he wants from himself and the team next season, which is really important.
Do you know, that's a very good answer, but I didn't expect that from you, being a striker.
No,
I just would have thought a goal's a goal. But you're absolutely spot on. Yeah. Of course, he scored the first goal against Shrewsbury last week. There was a great assist from Albie as well. I mean, it's so difficult to pick up in those situations, Brown, isn't he?
Yeah, we say in commentary about being on the move, anticipating the flight of the ball. I mean, the 10 just gave up marking him. which is, if you're Steve Cotterill, you're going and he's getting a slap without any shadow of a doubt. It was awful. That's a great header. Yeah. That's a great header. I mean, as power he's generated off the flight of that ball is very, very good, considering, you know, where he's headed from the corner of the 6-yard box. But you can't mark like that. Steve Cotterill's teams don't normally concede set-piece goals. They're normally really diligent from set pieces and diligent defensively. So that was quite a surprise that they conceded. But give us a bit of credit. 2 strikers, 2 very good headers, 2 good deliveries into the box.
Yeah. Let's remind ourselves of the teams then, shall we? First of all, with the Addicts. 3 changes made. Ryan Innes, Corey Blackett-Taylor and the youngster Nathan Harness in goal. And look at the bench as well. That looks strong, doesn't it? With DJ, Jake, Elliot, Chucks, Mason and Deji. Congratulations to you with the award that you won last week as well. Let's move on to Ipswich. And you mentioned it earlier about he makes changes. Kieran McKenna's made 5 for today, Brownie. There's Macaulay Bonne, who of course we know. He scored 12 goals for the Addicts. He hasn't scored in his last 18 though. Must have been he's
one in 29. It's called a Liz.
Oh. Liz, you can't.
I didn't think he'd do it on telly.
You got it.
He's not just done it, he's done it on telly as well.
I'll be back.
Outrageous.
I'll be back at all.
Yeah, correct.
I tell you what, though, they've got some good players, haven't they? With Connor Chaplin and Burson Selina as well. So look, they're ready. In a word, yes, confident.
Yes.
Let's get to our commentary team then, shall we? Greg Stubley and Terry Smith.